God damn it! I wanted to talk about the Dodgers, but you had to do it. You had to do it. All right. The reason why I said okay Germany was not that I was calling him a German fascist. I meant if you're going to exile, me and mine, we'll take Germany. If they'll take us, you know. Reason being is I know people there and they're happy. Um, yeah, they even visited me here because they do this thing called traveling. They have free time and money and stuff like that. And a lot of us in the US just don't. And you had mentioned that, like, a lot of people in the US would prefer to leave if they could, but finances don't add up. And visas, like you go to another country, you have to have a visa and it expires, and then you have to leave for a little while and come back. And your right to work is, you know, in question and all that. So it's not so easy. It really makes me annoyed when people say, if you don't like America, just leave. It's like, and go where? You know, I was born here too, you know. So yeah, I agree with those statements. You know, I have a right to have whatever damn opinion I want. I don't hate this country. I just despise what some of the stuff that's going on is. That's all. And no, I wish we'd follow our Constitution. In fact, I read the Canadian Charter of Rights during the lockdowns and the trucker protests, and I'm like, this sounds great, but they don't follow it. Same thing here in different ways. So, yeah. So the two outcomes I would want is if, first of all, Elon's full of you know what. Nothing like that will happen. Um, he's on drugs. Okay, but if he somehow got his way, send us to Germany because that's where there's people I know that are happy and healthy, and they work jobs. They work full time, but they're not like stressed, and they get like a month off or something a year, something like that. They get a lot of time to travel and stuff like that. So it's really cool. They have all these trains. They can go all over Europe, you know, and they're part of the EU. That's what I was explaining to my friend. She came here and visited, and she brought her little boy, and he was like, I don't know, 7 years old, and he sounded like a 30-year-old in terms of his vocabulary and English, by the way. So he knew German and English already at that age. Pretty intelligent. And I said to him, you are very lucky. And he said, why? And I said, because you can live in any of the R50 states and you can live anywhere in the EU. So be thankful for that and make sure you understand that as you grow up. Now he's fairly grown up. He might be out of high school or something. So that was quite some time ago. But what a cool situation. And a lot of us, in the States, yeah, we don't really have the finances. I mean, I have the finances to get us there, but what am I gonna do there? It would have to be something where I made some connections. Yeah, it wouldn't be easy to move there, and the visa thing is different, and it's not as easy as you think. So yeah, I mean, I don't even think I can visit Canada. Like, I might not because I emailed their embassy over and over and over about stuff, and they kept giving me flimsy answers. So I canceled my airline tickets to go to Toronto. So that's the situation. And I'm not too dissatisfied with the West Coast. Okay, it's beautiful, and if I'm stuck somewhere, it may as well be here because there's a lot of other places you wouldn't want to be stuck. And I can still go anywhere in the U.S. in that regard. But I really get, like, once I get past the Rockies, ugh, there's a thing that happens to people on this side of the coast. But that's neither here nor there. He's full of crap. But yeah, if you're gonna send me out of the country and I have to leave, I'll pick Germany, because they're English friendly. All you have to do is try to learn a little German. I've met plenty of Germans, and what happens is you learn a few German words, you start talking. Next thing you know, 6 months later, you're halfway fluent. A year or two later, you're fluent. So, and they don't care because they mostly know English. And they're not like the French, where like you get 3 days. Like I knew a girl who moved to France. She had 3 days to learn French. Give me a freaking break. So, yeah, that's what I'd pick.